Usual, I'll do the recap. This recap hopefully will refresh your mind before your midterm exam. So what we have learned, do you still remember? We are now in week 6, which means we are in the chapter 6, right? So in the SDLC process, we are reaching to the last one, all right? Second last, all right? We are reaching to the second last of your SDLC process. And over here, I'd like to recap by starting what we have learned so far, right? And try to link to your midterm exam, okay? So that you all are in the same pace, all right? We all are in the same pace over here. So I begin by telling you some analogy about businesses and a business process. Remember that? I give you some idea of in a business, to set up a business, you must have a proper process, procedures, and this process or these procedures that these businesses have might change over time, all right? And the changes might be due to the new technology, it might be due to being growing, all right? Your business grow bigger now, so you will change your means of doing your operations, all right, of your business. In simple word, is what? Business process in a company change, okay? Okay, you all understand? Do you get the point over here? You got the business, right? You got business. You got business, and then business mostly is to gain profit, right? And to achieve this objective, you will have different, you need to have the operations. You need to have operations, and then over here, you will have different business process cycle. All right, you have different business process cycle, and each of these process cycles will ultimately help you to achieve the profit. All right, and what I say over here is that this thing will change, the triangle change, right? All right, this business process will change over time, and it is inevitable because business will grow, business will obsolete. All right, if you don't change your process, then you might not get the customer anymore, or you might not buy the product efficiently, all right, or you will not manage your human resource in a best way, all right? Basically, it goes back to you want the operation to be effective and efficient, all right? This is our objective all along, all right? Our objective all along is to make sure that the operation is effective and efficient. Make sense, all right? And to make sure that it is effective and efficient, we need to always make sure that our process is up to date, all right, which is the best. And to do so, then we have this, we have to find the problem. Remember, this is where we come in, and to reaccess, we go back and analyze and evaluate, all right? We go back to analyze, correct, my spelling. Analyze, you go back to analyze and develop, which is your course, all right? Analyze and develop of AIS, right? You go and analyze and develop of this one, and there are various framework we can follow. It's the same like you study your financial reporting, right? Your financial reporting, you know, there are 2 framework you can follow. What are the 2 framework that you can follow in your financial reporting? Which is the one that you are learning right now, the MFRS, all right, following the IFRS, which is the UK variant, or the GAAP, right, the GAAP, the US. Though they are trying to converge, though they are trying to go into convergence, you know. I don't know what happened now. Last time when I learned, they are trying to convergence. You know what's convergence? It means they're trying to standardize, right? Try to become unity between these two different frameworks. But what happened now? Are they still different, or they have reached the convergence? You guys are studying the standards, right? You know what I'm trying to say? Oh, never mind. Anyway, over here, for our framework, we have different framework, and we use this one as the LC, all right? System Development Lifecycle Framework to analyze and to do all of these things, all right? And we have gone through these different stages already, okay? What is the first stage? Do you still remember? System survey, right? Survey. And in this stage, we do look at basically identifying the problem. We do look at identifying the problem. We look at the needs, right? Problem and needs. There are different points. Okay, in the exam, I already provide the answer for the tutorial, but the answer for the tutorial is disclaimer, right? That's just like a simple answer without any point that has been extracted from the study kit. So in answering that, you need to also relate back to your study kit the points that are inside where it is relevant. Okay, where it is relevant. You have the scope. Then you start the project, right? You start the project. Once you know the problem and the needs, right? There are different points over there. Remember, I'm not going to go through them. If I want to recall, also cannot recall. So you have to go back and look at the study kit again, or you can go back and reverse back to the manual, right? The video, right? If you have the video. Then you got the scope and objectives. Remember this one? From the problem and the needs, you try to scope down, and then from the scope, you identify your objectives. Then you do your preliminary is it A here? No. Feasibility, right? Is it correct? Wrong. Right. Feasibility, right? A preliminary feasibility access, all right? Or you're going to check which are on the three components only, right? Then you go down into the second stage, which is the structured system analysis, is it? I cannot recall. Is it correct? Structured system analysis or structured analysis system? System analysis, structured system analysis. Correct, huh? What we have over here? Do you still remember? You start with the knowing the current situation, right? Understanding the current situation. You start with the as is, right? As is. We got the BPMN over here. Is it correct? We got the BPMN over here. How come you look at me like tak tahu? Basically, there's the documentation tool. How you collect the data, right? Data collection on the current state, all right, on the current state. Then you got the system requirement collections, right? There's functional and non-functional for you to look into detail which one you need, right? Is it correct? Okay. Then we go into the third one. What is on the third one is on the build or buy, right? Build or buy, right? Build versus buy. Oh, here is the system selection. Over here, a disclaimer. I told you last time, not coming out in the midterm, right? But apparently it comes up in the midterm. But it's in a second question. All right, you can choose not to answer. You can choose not to answer. And the weightage, I think, is only 20 marks. So it's very easy, all right? The midterm is very easy. Just that one important note is you must write and give your answer, right? If you don't write and give your answer, you will get a beautiful 0 marks. All right? If you don't write and give your answer. Build and buy, over here, we look at the framework. The decision-making framework, right? We talk about what do we start with? We start with the factor, right? The factor, the decision, the factor that you need to consider either to buy or build. Then you talk about the positive and the negative of buy and build. Then you got the hybrid, remember? Then you got the framework, the decision-making, decision-making framework. And pretty much that's it. You got the vendor, right? You got the whole vendor evaluation. You got some more. This one I remember a lot because the CBS, right? CBS analysis, cost, benefit, and what is the S? Not the S, but the S is the scalability, right? Scalability analysis. These are all considerations that you need to put in mind. Then we got the fourth one over here. 4 is the system design, right? System design. Is it? The 2B. Over here we talk about, what do we talk about over here? You remember? Oh no. Oh, you didn't watch the video. This is last week, right? Last week video. The 2B is what? First, we need to do also the documentation, right? You got the BPMN. You're going to draw the new process on top of the old one. Then, what do we have some over here? The IPO, right? OCS, IPOCS. You need to decide, you need to design how the input, process, and output, control, and the storage looks like. Because we are now in the design already, okay? Just now, over here is the analysis. We have all the requirements that we want. We analyze the current state. Then we are now designing already. Is it okay? You design over here, you also design the two things over here, which is the database and the UI, user interface. All right. This and this will link down to today's lesson, which is prototype development. Okay.